Today, let's dive into a crucial topic: political accountability and the shifting landscape of leadership. It's been said that politicians should serve the people, but there's growing concern that many have forgotten that duty. What do you think?
Absolutely. It seems like many politicians have shifted from public service to personal gain. They're often more focused on their families, their wealth, or their own interests rather than serving the public. This raises the question, are they still fit to hold office?
Right, and we've seen a push to oust old politicians and bring in fresh blood. But is that the right approach? Should we simply replace them, or should we ask ourselves, what exactly is the issue with the current leadership?
I think that's the key. It's not enough to just say, out with the old. We need to understand why these politicians have lost their way. Have they failed the people? Have they put personal interests above public service? It's not about age or tenure. It's about their actions.
Exactly. The problem isn't just with age or experience, but how these leaders balance their personal lives with their public duties. When politicians start living for themselves, it's a problem. For instance, if they focus more on accumulating personal wealth or supporting their families at the expense of the public, then they are no longer truly public servants.
That's the line, isn't it? Public versus private life. And it becomes especially problematic when these leaders forget that their job is to serve the people, not themselves. When public servants start living for personal gains, it's a breach of their role.
That's the crux of the issue. The people in power need to remember they are there to serve the nation, not just enrich themselves. A true leader must be willing to sacrifice personal desires for the public good. This is the test. Can they put aside personal gains for the welfare of others?
And this brings us to a deeper question. Can a politician truly be effective in their role without sacrificing personal ambitions? For instance, a president should be able to set aside personal beliefs or affiliations, even religious ones, to govern effectively. They must represent everyone.
I completely agree. A leader can't impose personal beliefs onto others. Whether they believe in a particular religion or ideology, they must remain neutral for the sake of the public. A good leader doesn't let personal beliefs cloud their judgment for the greater good.
It's also about the responsibility of the people. We need to ask ourselves if we're merely replacing one leader with another for the wrong reasons. Are we doing this for the nation, or just to occupy a position of power?
That's why we must be careful when bringing in new leadership. It's not about who has the best arguments or who seems like the fresh face. It's about who truly understands the responsibility of being a public servant. They must be willing to serve, not rule for personal gain.
And at the end of the day, a politician's role is to serve the people with integrity. They should set aside their personal interests and focus on what's best for the nation. If they fail to do so, they lose their legitimacy as a public servant.
Exactly. So the question becomes, are our politicians truly living up to their duties? Are they focusing on the people's needs, or are they stuck in the trap of private desires? We need to evaluate them by their actions, not just their words.
That's right. We need a framework that ensures leaders remain accountable and committed to the public good. If we can't distinguish between personal and public priorities, we're setting ourselves up for failure.
Agreed. If we can't make this distinction, we'll end up with a leadership that only serves a select few. The public deserves better than that. The question we need to ask is, are these leaders truly ready to put the nation first, or is it all about their own ambitions?
It's a tough question, but one that we must continue to ask. True leadership is about sacrifice and service, not power or personal gain. If we forget that, we risk losing sight of what it means to serve the people.
Absolutely. And as we move forward, it's essential that we have leaders who are truly committed to public service. It's about integrity, responsibility, and ultimately putting the people first. This is the standard we must hold them to.
And as citizens, we have to be vigilant. We can't just accept the idea of leadership without holding those in power accountable. It's up to us to ensure that we have leaders who are genuinely dedicated to the people's welfare.
Exactly. Political leaders should always be judged by how much they prioritize the public over their own desires. Only then can we hope to build a truly fair and prosperous society.
Well said. It's a constant challenge, but one that we must face if we want a better future for everyone.